Dear students, there are some other components of the interview which need to be discussed. There are two things in the interview. One is the notes and second are the forms. So notes versus forms, and we have to compare and contrast at how we can go and discuss such kind of things. Interviewers should have 3 documents in front of them at the beginning of every interview. The first thing is the applicant's resume or the application form. It must need to be on your table. And then it can be the job description and the corresponding job description of the candidate. So you can compare the job description with the applicant's resume. So these need to be in front of you. Interviewers who are comfortable with a piece of paper need to restrict their comments to objective, factual, and job-related information with occasional distinguishing notes as needed. So one is the applicant's resume or the application form, second is the job description, and third is a note-taking paper. These need to be in front of the interviewer. Many interviewers, however, feel anxious about the sight of a blank piece of paper and are uncomfortable about being left on their own to write notes. So you have to see that what you can do if you are interviewing the candidate. They prefer instead to have some guidance by way of a form, especially one that incorporates a point system. In this method, the interviewer typically assigns a numerical value to each factor evaluated. So if you are evaluating number of job factors, you have to give any particular value to each job factor from the scale of 1 to 5. You can see here each individual factor might be evaluated according to the 5-point scale. This scale is here. Number 1 is an outstanding candidate. Number 2 is a very good. Number 3 is a good. Number 4 is a fair, and number 5 is a poor. So the overall rating for a 5-point value system might look like this. Number 1, superior, overall, skills and qualification. Number 2, above average, skills and qualification. And number 3, meet the requirements of the job. So such kind of things can be mentioned on the scales. There are 4 primary problems with this kind of a system. What are those problems? Because every system has pros and cons. So there is an issue with such kind of a system. Number 1, the accompanying point value of form may contain factors that are subjective and not job related. So this is a thing which we are discussing in the past slides, that the factor must not to be subjective and must not to be job related. If it is not job related and it is subjective, obviously such kind of factors are not quite good to make a selection decision through such kind of application forms. Number 2, using subjective terms such as outstanding or poor to judge someone is meaningless. So these are also subjective statements which need to be avoided. And number 3, busy interviewers who are relying on forms with several pre-printed categories tend to check off boxes quickly without giving ample thought to each person's actual skills. So if you are quite busy in taking interview and you are very busy, you have a busy schedule and you have to interview so many people in a single day, then such kind of interviewers make a mistake. They rely on the forms and they just check boxes on the application form. Such kind of check boxes are not good, and you are not giving ample thoughts to make your statements or to judge the actual skill level of the person. So you are just ticking, you are just checkboxing, and such kind of checkboxing avoiding you to give ample thought to the applicant's suitability to that particular position. And number 4, without written details concerning each applicant, it will be extremely difficult to distinguish one person from another at the later date. So it's better to take notes rather than using an application forms. So you can use application forms sometime if you have a less number of candidates. But if you are quite busy and you are just in a hurry, obviously the effectiveness of such kind of application forms would not be good. So it is up to you that whether you are using the application forms or you are using the notes. Whatever the way you are using, you need to ensure the effectiveness of that particular method during the interview process.